Say good luck, Daddy.
I love you. I'm gonna go catch a big fish for you.
Perfect. Okay, here we go again. February 14th, 2020, Valentine's Day. And I'm leaving my wife again, but hey, I took care of her last night with some jewelry. Got her smiling and happy, so it is time to head to Orlando, Florida. The Harris Chain of Lakes for stop number 2 of the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. And on the way there, say hey to the neighbor. On the way there, we're going to stop by Midway Marine, the greatest Ranger dealer on earth, and join in on their boat show. We'll get one day of action there with them, try to talk to some folks about Ranger boats, and then we're going to hightail it down to Florida, and hopefully tomorrow try to put a couple more hours on this new Mercury engine, get a little bit closer to that 10-hour break-in period, just to make sure I get that done in practice. So looking forward to it. Got a lot of travel in front of me, about 13 hours total. I'm glad it'll be broke up with the boat show, and probably park somewhere tonight and sleep in the truck and make the rest of the ride in the morning. So hoping to show y'all some big Florida bass here soon. Good time at the boat show. It's gotten dark on us. I'm gonna try to cut this drive about in half, if not more. So a little bit sleepy, but I'll hang in there, listen to some Bass Talk Live, and do some driving. Try to get on down closer to Florida. Maybe pull over, find a safe spot, and kick the old seat back in the Chevy motel, snooze a little bit, and get started back early in the morning and try to find a lake somewhere down near the Harris Chain, but not on the Harris Chain, where I can put a couple more hours on that new Mercury and get to the spot, get everything organized, get situated, rest up, get ready for practice on Sunday. So here we go. A lot of driving ahead.
Timing.
So we have made it to Florida. We're going to get to see a Florida sunrise. It's 40 degrees down here, so a little better than home. We're getting there. All right, I missed the conversation, but I just talked to the tournament director, Mr. Daniel Fennell, and confirmed that I can put in on Lake Yale, which is part of the Harris Chain, but there's no direct access to any of the other lakes on Yale. It's controlled access, so we're going to put in on Lake Yale on Saturday, the day before practice starts, and put a couple hours on that Mercury engine so I can get most of that break-in out of the way and not be concerned with having to waste time during practice trying to get extra hours on the engine. So that'll be a good deal. It's warming up. There's sunshine. It's 55 degrees. I'm a little bit sleepy, so I'm going to find me some breakfast, put a couple hours on that Mercury, and then hopefully by then I can go check into the room and catch me a nap. All right, so here we go, Lake Yale, more engine break-in. All right, now the Ranger is in Florida waters. We're at Lake Yale. Right here, really shallow ramp. Had to turn my blue jeans into capris. I put the truck off in the lake just to float the Ranger, but we're ready to go. Looks like just a pretty simple round lake. Wind's starting to pick up, but it's not too bad. So we're going to just put that Mercury on about 4,000 RPMs and put some hours on it. And then go find some food. I might have to make one cast. I don't know. We'll see. So I had to stop and make a few casts, and we have found them. They're piled up good in the pads. Just kind of slapping this chatterbait, but getting a bite every other cast. I got another one. I'm telling you, man, I'm working on it. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna touch base with you and back in. Good deal. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Perfect.
Pretty. Well, that was a lot of fun. I got to just sit there and lean on them. Just happened to fish 10 minutes and then found the biggest wad of fish in Florida, I think. That's a great way to get practice rolling, even though that wasn't practice yet. So tomorrow's day one of practice. We will be on the Harris chain tomorrow instead of Lake Yale. I'll still be thinking about that school of fish, promise you. So hey, you never know. The Harris chain's not far from here, so that might have clued me in on something. Maybe the jerk bait and kind of slapping at a chatterbait, but you know, maybe what those fish were relating to could possibly give me a clue in in practice. But one thing's for sure, I need to forget about it for the most part, because I don't need to go into practice with preconceived notions before I ever put the boat on the water. So anyhow, it's fun. Got to stretch the line out and whack on them for a minute. Good time. So I'm officially tired. I didn't plan on being on the water that long. A 3-hour nap in the Chevy motel last night and 13 hours of driving and a boat show. Needless to say, I am whooped and I'm hungry. So it's food and nap time. Let's get it done. All right, we have arrived to our humble abode for the next 6-7 days. Pretty little place, plenty of parking. Doc just made it in too. Lots of yard. Met Dave, the owner. He seems like a really nice guy, so I think we'll be happy here. And we've got a duck mailbox on letter box on the front of the steps. Kick the shoes off. Oh yeah, this will work. It's Dr. David Wooten, In the house.
Alright.
Practice. Sunday starts this morning, and I'm going to go by Venetian Gardens and attend fishing church with Captain Blake Smith and a good group of guys that likes to get together and have a quick fellowship before we get practice underway. So Doc Wooten and I are headed to that and ready for some sunshine today and warm weather. It's 53 right now, but hey, I'm in shorts, taking advantage of the little bit of warmth we've got. So it looks like cold front time coming by tournament day, which is subject to change 4 days from now, 5 days from now, but we'll see. So today is hunting around, trying to see a bunch of water, get a feel of what stage those fish are in, if there's still going to be a big percentage of the fish that are out offshore, or if a lot of those fish have pushed up into canals. Just don't really know for now what they'll be doing on this new moon. I expect and hope to find some fish out that are grouped up though. So I'm gonna hunt around on some grass lines and offshore stuff, shell beds, and see what we can get done. So I will show y'all along the way. First Lake Harris fish.
Just lost a good one too. Alright.
Here's your midday one of practice update brought to you by EGR Auto. I've caught 7 or 8 fish, and I have found a little deal that there seems to be almost a guarantee if you find some isolated pads that you can catch them on a jerkbait out in front of them. Found some fish around some wind-created current at the end of an island. There was more fish there than what I caught. I stuck around, tried to figure them out, but lost a good one there and caught a couple little ones. They were slapping a chatterbait, kind of slapping out a jerkbait. I caught a couple of them, but pulled back in this residential canal and heard a fish hit way back under some stuff in super shallow water. And I threw a jig up there, and jig went over a limb, and I just kind of dangled the jig in the water, and that fish ran out of that stuff and grabbed it, and it was a, 5-pounder or so. I thankfully didn't get a hook in the fish, got to see it, so that's good. Maybe I can come back and catch that fish during the tournament. It's hot, it's getting cloudy, a little bit of thunder rolling, so got some rain coming this afternoon, I'm sure. Right now I'm in Little Harris. I've seen half a Big Harris, most of Little Harris, and it's 1:30, I'm trying to get over to Eustis today, or at least see part of that, so got to cover a lot of water. There's definitely some fish out. I don't like spending a lot of time in these canals, but I want to make sure that there's not a big wave of spawners moving in, and possibly find a couple big ones on a bed. So keeping it honest, but I'm gonna keep working that main lake kind of outside stuff and hopefully find a pile of them.
Alright, I have to apologize. I just caught a 7-pounder on a frog. Took a picture of it for social media and forgot to GoPro it, but that's pretty dang cool. A frog back here in middle of nowhere, duckweed. So I'm gonna try to get another bite, but I'm not setting the hook again.
Alright, that wraps up day one practice. All in all, I think it was a good day. Can definitely catch them on a jerkbait. Caught the big one on the frog, so I like what I saw today. Tomorrow I'm going to try to look at Eustis and maybe some of the other lakes and see if there's a big difference. Maybe I'd like to find some hydrilla, and the Harris, Big Harris and Little Harris just really didn't have much of it. So good day one. Looking forward to getting back after it tomorrow.
I put in on Eustis at the Tavares ramp, and just getting started, I ran in this little canal near the ramp, let it at least get daylight enough to run around the lake and see what I'm looking at. So no bites so far, a lot of bait in this little canal, but I didn't see much activity from the game fish. Didn't really see any bass hitting or anything. So it's going to be cloudy today. Probably not going to do a lot of looking for bed fish. I'm going to keep focusing on finding some fish, hopefully congregated out on the main lake. Keep running around and also try to find some more frog areas since I caught a big one yesterday on the frog. So I'm going to get with it.
I could see a bunch of fish on this point with deep water around it. Spent like 20 minutes trying to get a bite, and finally got a bite. Wish I wouldn't have set the hook, but it was a 4-pounder. So cool.
Well, it's lunchtime on day 2 of practice.
I'm idling out of Eustis through the Dora Canal. Gonna go down and check out Lake Dora, see what it's got to offer. Eustis was okay. Water seemed a little bit more stained, I guess, for Florida. And caught a couple on the jerkbait, but they didn't seem to be on the jerkbait as well over here. Caught a 4-pounder, as you saw on the speed worm, and gotten some pads. And just about every point of the pad field, every time it made a point, I shook one off on a speed worm. I did that 3 or 4 times and moved on, and spent a lot of time looking for bedding fish, and I've seen plenty, but I haven't seen one that's big enough to make it worth the gamble of messing with it. So I'm gonna go check out Dora, continue to try to find some hydrilla, maybe a shell bed, and just trying to find the fish grouped up. So stay at it. Finish my lunch here while I make this long idle.
Once again, middle of nowhere, 5-pounder. Another one on the jerkbait. Alright, so I made another cast after the 4-pounder I just showed you and caught another 4-pounder. Then I put the rod down and trolled over it, and there was more there, so fingers crossed they stay there. They're in the middle of nowhere. No grass out there, no nothing, just a 5-foot deep flat out in the middle of it. Pretty crazy. Hopefully nobody finds those fish. Then I got on the bank with a speed worm and had 3 bites in about 75 yards and shook all them off. I reeled one of them to the surface before he spit it out, and he was a 1.5-pound buck bass. So lots of good things right there. It's a long way from my other fish, but maybe between now and dark I can find something else in this area, Lakeview Clare, and something to expand on. So good deal.